What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another Alien Rides episode, the premier personal electric transportation channel. For those of you that are new, please subscribe, hit that notification button, and consider backing us on Patreon. In this episode, we're going to talk about two things that typically don't mix well together: rain and personal electric vehicles. In fact, this is a type of activity that has only really been possible in the last couple of years. We're going to talk about a ride, gear for comfortable rain riding, and required safety gear while riding in the rain. Feel free to use the jump links in the video description to jump around to different sections of the video. I've tried a number of electric vehicles in the rain, and the electric unicycle, or EUC, is the only one that I'm truly comfortable with. Scooters, like my Dualtron Thunder, do okay in the rain, but I wouldn't call it particularly fun, and it can be difficult to maintain traction. For EUCs, I think it's a combination of the larger rubber tire, analog body control acceleration, and reasonable waterproofing from the factory that make these vehicles shine in the rain. There is opportunity for better waterproofing, however, and I had one temporary issue with some water getting into my power switch. I ended up having to wait a few minutes, blowing the switch to clear out the water, but besides that, I've never had a problem riding in the rain. For future rides, I'll likely just tape over the switch or find a better, more waterproof one. Generally, a light rain is totally fine for these vehicles, but I would definitely avoid having the wheel in water for a prolonged period of time. I've also heard of people destroying their wheels when spraying it directly with a high-pressure hose. You're seeing some footage of a recent electric unicycle group ride in the rain. In a little while here, we're going to meet up with some friends and do a small group ride around San Francisco. Normally, we'd have 50 plus riders for our group rides, but with the rain, we only had 3 brave souls. To be comfortable during a rain ride, you should definitely invest in a good set of all-weather gear. I was way under-equipped during this ride, and I want to upgrade my gear before the next rain ride. At a minimum, I think you'll want waterproof gloves, footwear, pants, and a jacket. The right combination of gear to prevent water getting into your footwear is also key. There's no worse feeling than wet socks during a ride, and I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. There's also rain covers for shoes available, and I'll have a few links in the video description to some useful pieces of gear. It can also be nice to have vented gear of some sort, as you can easily work up a sweat under waterproof gear. As for riding safely in the rain, you'll ideally want all of your standard gear and pads. I highly recommend elbow pads, knee pads, gloves, and protective footwear. After doing this ride in a mountain biking helmet and sunglasses, I can definitely say that a full-face helmet is the way to go. A full-face helmet will provide much better visibility, warmth, and dryness compared to a vented mountain biking helmet. The important thing is finding a way to clear the beads of rain from the visor. I think that Rain-X might work on a motorcycle, but I don't think we are traveling at fast enough speeds for that to work here. I have seen some motorcycle gloves with a built-in squeegee on the thumb, and I'll be exploring getting some of those. The most genius solution I've seen, though, is Vano's handheld squeegee. You'll see some shots of it during this ride, and I've included some funny squeegee moments at the end of this video. Here's a few tips for riding EUCs through the rain, but these tips would also apply to most personal electric vehicles. Typically, riding style is the same, except maintaining traction is key. Maintaining traction is obviously much more difficult in the rain. You'll want to slow down well in advance of turns and avoid sudden maneuvers to maintain the most traction. Surfaces that are already slippery, like mud, loose gravel, or temporary metal street coverings, become a challenge to maintain traction on. You'll want to tackle these straight on with the wheel upright, potentially slightly slower as well. Riding through deep puddles that you can't see through is typically not a good idea, but often too much fun to resist. Besides that, I tend to typically carve a little bit less, just due to wanting to maintain as much traction as possible. I've also heard that lowering tire pressure can help here, but I usually don't bother with that. You'll want to maintain more room around you at all times, since you and others can't brake as quickly, and you probably don't want to run into others. Pretty rainbows on the road usually mean oil and should be avoided at all costs. Finally, once your clothes are fully soaked through, one of my friends who I won't name here says that you can pee while you ride as others can't see it and it has a warming effect. Please don't do that while riding with me. If you happen to have any more rain riding tips, please leave a comment below. Alright everybody, thanks for watching up to here. I'm going to just let the remainder of this rain footage play out now because I find it extremely calming to watch. Feel free to enjoy the following raw footage of riding in the rain around San Francisco, and I'll see you all next time.
Muddy water. I know. Oh my God. I almost lost it there. One more time. Nice.
Got a lot on the inside.
You gotta squeeze the inside, yeah.
I know. That's
There you go.
the outside works though.
Can you squeegee me?
Fuck no.
Come on, just squeegee me a little bit.
Yeah, we need a little one.
I know. Squeegee, squeegee Jesse. Jesse needs a squeegee. Oh, shit!
Too much squeaky. What is this, a comedy show? One pass.
One pass.
Water blade. One pass water blade. Thanks, Doug. Looking out.